Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws. Out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15. Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it for Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
Oh! What up? What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Man, listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. Listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, a subscribe button. All right, click the subscribe button, and then click the notification button. That's the bell, the little picture of the bell. Click that as well, and that will allow you to be informed every time a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Make sure you follow us on Facebook as well. The show's page, Shawn and Maya in the morning, as well as Sports Zone Chicago. If you're watching us on our mobile app, I like that kind of party, baby. Listen, I can't believe that you don't even know. Come on, listen, we have our own mobile app. So listen, wherever you get your apps from, okay, wherever you get them from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Wards, Woolworths, wherever you get them from. All right, you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. And if you're watching this on our Roku channel, yay, baby, that's what I'm talking about. We have our own Roku channel. How you not know? How you not know? Come on, man. Listen, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. All right, download Sports Zone Chicago's tile to that TV. And as a matter of fact, to all the TVs, all the Roku TVs in the house, download them. Do us that solid. We appreciate it. Download all the TVs, even if it's in the room, the kids' room. You know, they're just watching their little cartoons and whatever they're watching nowadays. Just do us a favor. Just download to all the TVs, the Roku TVs in the house. Okay. Now you can also tweet this show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram because you're at IG and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We have a phenomenal show, but we need you to get interactive with us today. And remember those old commercials? I want you. Those military commercials. We want you. We need you to get interactive. So if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on our mobile app, you can get interactive with us that way. Okay? So here's what I need you to do. Leave a question or comment on that particular platform. All right? And it'll come up here in the thread, and we'll put it on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that's what makes this the best Chicago sports talk morning show around, is you. So bring it all. Bring everything you got. Because ain't nobody screwed. We want your questions, comments, smart-ass remarks. Bring them all. All right? Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Bring it. Let's see who we have in the chat. Man, the chat is jumping already. Lord have mercy. Mercy. Like our old friend Hawk Harrelson used to say, mercy. My man, Cornelius Squalls, he in the house. What up? Good morning, Papa. Lavette Lee, she's in early. Good. Oh, she's on right at 9 o'clock. She's right on time. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. She's always on time, Lavette Lee. Good morning. My man, Armando Emeterio. Lara Jr., he's in the house. What up, Junior? How you doing? Patty Lara is in the house as well. Woo-wee. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Michelle Wall's in the Mickey Ficky house. How we doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. Yes. Man, we got some peoples. There you go. My man, Brandon Schutz, he's in the house as well. You're right. You're right about what? I don't know. I don't know what you're right about. But good morning, Brandon. I appreciate it. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't know a lot about a lot, but more of the usual suspects will be chiming in as the show goes on. That, my friends, I can tell you. You like so this is, my cousin got this for me. My cousin got it for me, and I was over at his house 2 weeks ago. The last Sunday was really, really hot. Yeah. And so he goes, oh, I have your birthday gift. I was like, oh, okay. He never gets me a birthday. I can't tell you. He never got me a birthday gift. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So he comes out with this, and I'm like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. I'm like, so I love it. Dude, this thing is comfy. It's not very thick, which is okay. But it's kind of furry and warm inside. I'm like, oh, man. So I love it. Again, big shout out to my cousin, Charles Sierra. Thanks, Papa. I appreciate it. Man, I love this. I love this. I love this. I sent it over to JP. I sent a picture to JP. I was like, Jared, peep this. I was like, it's a birthday present. He's like, oh, dude, that's dope. He's like, happy birthday. I'm like, no. I said, I have the same birthday as your dad, bro. I said, July 25th. Me, Junior, my guy, Rick Perez. And there's another who's the other guy? There's a couple other people that I know that have the same birthday as Walter. So I was like, no, dude, my birthday is the same as your dad's. He was like, oh, that's what's up. So great stuff. But listen, we have a phenomenal show. Phenomenal show coming out at 9:30. We have Casey Boguslaw coming on talking baseball. We saw that train wreck of a press conference yesterday. We've been begging Jerry to come on for years. Talk to the media, talk to the fans. It's been 9 years since he last spoke with us or spoke to the press. 9 years? Like for real? Like he don't give a shit. He's like, I don't have to talk. It's not like a requirement from the head coaches and the players. He goes, I don't have to talk, so I won't. I won't. And he doesn't. 9 years. That's insane. That is purely insane. Want to say hi to my man Jeremiah. He's watching with his Pop. Pop is Junior. That's his nickname. His grandkids call him Pop. And I'd say hi to Armandito, but he is at school, so he's probably not watching. Although, you know what? That should be part of the curriculum. Watch Sports Zone Chicago's Shawn and Maya in the morning on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I mean, Junior, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you do. So, Casey Boguslaw coming out at 9:30 today. I'm telling you, we got a lot to talk about. Casey is a passionate White Sox fan like I am. Okay, he's a very passionate White Sox fan, just like me. And I love having him on because he gives you, first of all, phenomenal analysis. Okay, phenomenal analysis. But he does it with passion because we're Sox fans. We're Southside, and we have tons of memories with this team. You know, the battles, the fights against you scrub fans throughout the years. You know, we had one on you from 2005 to 2016. We had one on you. All right, when's the last time you won a World Series? Over 100 years, and then you won. Now you're insufferable. But my White Sox are, I don't even know what to call them, truth be told. I don't even know what. They're in an abyss. Probably one of the best ways to describe it. They're in hell, but that's overused. They're in an abyss of ignorance, arrogance. So we're going to talk about that with Casey Boguslaw today at 9:30. And then we got a lot of Bears talk. Bears talk is, wait, let me tell you something. Bears talk is going to be fire today. All right? It's going to be fire. I got a lot to talk about. I know you guys are going to be fired up, and you're going to be throwing your questions, your comments, smart ass remarks in there. We're going to incorporate that, and that's going to be this Bears segment is going to be live. It's going to be live. But anyway, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Whew. You know what? I told you I make a hell of a cup of green tea. Throw some honey, the right amount of honey. I think I threw a little too much honey in there today. It's not that it's bad. It's just a little sweeter than I usually have it. It's good, but it's not my best cup of tea. It's okay. It's all right. We'll live. We'll be all right. Don't worry about it. First, top of the morning topic. The White Sox. The White Sox host the Detroit Tigers, for a 3-game set starting today. Touki Toussaint is on a bump for the good guys. He's 2-6 with a 4.85 ERA going up against Eduardo Rodriguez. You know what? That is the name of the cousin that I don't speak to anymore, Eduardo Rodriguez. That's hilarious. Going up against Eduardo Rodriguez, he's 9-7 with a 3.21 ERA. That game, first pitch is 7:20 tonight on NBC Sports Chicago on the TV side, and 1000 AM on the radio side. You know, we'll stay here. Former White Sox pitchers Lucas Giolito and Ray Lopez, who were placed on waivers. Remember, we traded them to the Angels, something for them. The Angels put them on waivers. You're like, what? I talked about it the other day. They both get picked up by Cleveland. So they're coming back to the AL Central, along with Matt Moore. Matt Moore's a left-handed reliever. If you remember, Ron Luce was on with us the other day, and he was talking about Matt Moore was one of the guys he would have liked for the Cubs because he is a lefty. But Lucas Giolito and Ray Lopez are now back in the division, back by popular demand. Cleveland Guardians. Oh, my goodness. And let me double check. because we play them once or twice. How crazy is it going to be when we face Cleveland? How crazy is it going to be? We're in September? Yeah, September. September 1st. Wow. This is crazy, folks. September 1st. It's the first of the month. Get up, get up. They play a little Bone Thugs. Washington, no, I'm looking. September 30th. So we don't play Cleveland anymore. We're done. Tigers, Royals, Tigers. Yeah, we don't play them. Detroit, the Nationals, the Red Sox, the Diamondbacks, and the Padres. So we don't play. Wow. So we don't play them anymore. I thought that would have been crazy had we played them. That's insane. So it's a green tea I get from Costco. The big 100 unit things, 100 count thing. Yeah. So let's keep it moving. Next top of the morning topic. Here we go. The Cubs. Oh yeah, I should have done that one. All right, we'll travel back to that. The Cubs, they travel. It's the Queen City, to Cincinnati, for a 4-game set. Starting today, they have a doubleheader. Game 1 is at 12:10 p.m. Central Time. Jordan Wicks is on the bump for the Northsiders. He's 1-0 with a 1.8 ERA. What is that? Let's take care of that. With a 1.8 ERA. There we go. I don't know what the heck that was about. And he's going up against Graham Ashcroft. He's 7-8 with a 4.73 ERA. Game 2, they're both TBDs. Both teams have not decided who is going to be on the bump for them, respectively. But that game is at 5:40, and both games are on the Marquee Network on the TV side and on 670 AM on the radio side. All right, we'll go back to the White Sox because this is just – I didn't want to do all White Sox to start. I needed a break. I needed to break it up. I needed a break. But the White Sox, yeah, they named Chris Getz their new – oh, I didn't do that. Biscuit. I thought I did. Son of a biscuit. All right, they named Chris Getz their new senior vice president / general manager. And I'm not happy with it. Sox fans are not happy with it at all. We're not. Okay, we're just not. It's here, let me introduce you to the new general manager, same as the old. You know, there you go. This is the one I wanted. It's Chris Getz. And let me tell you, this is a situation that I'm pissy about, and many Sox fans are, because it's same old, same old. Okay, Chris Getz is a gentleman who was in charge of the minor league system for the White Sox. Who have we drafted and developed? Tim Anderson, Andrew Vaughn, that's about it. Yeah. Who else? Who else in the squad have we drafted and developed? Brought up through the system. Got them to the big show, or they got to the big show, and performed well, as it was an all-star. Like I said, Tim Anderson. We got Dylan Cease from a trade. We didn't draft him. Lucas Giolito trade. We didn't draft him. All right, Elvis, nope. Shortstop, Yohan, nope. Trade. Third baseman, Tim Anderson, as I said. Left fielder, Benintendi, nope. Trade. Lewis Robert. All right, maybe you could use him since we signed him an international deal. And then right field, Oscar Colas signed an international deal. So this guy who really hasn't given a shit as far as players to look at that we've drafted is now in charge of the whole team. Before he was in charge of the minors. Now he's in charge of the big squad, the big league squad. This is a farce. This is a joke. Okay, it's horrible on a couple of different reasons. One, I don't trust him. He sounded in over his head yesterday in the press conference. Actually, I take that back. He sounded in over his head this morning. He was on the radio this morning. And he was just a little too frantic for me. All right, a little too frantic. And I get it. It's his first GM job. Okay. They asked him about the organization. Here's the thing. You know what's in the organization. Everybody in the big show, everybody in the show, are guys that you work with. Or damn near. Except people like Benintendi and Grandal and Elvis. Yeah, everybody else you've worked with. They talked a lot of stuff saying that it's going to be different. And I'm like, what's going to be different? What's going to be different? You know, somebody they reposted my picture on Facebook, and the one of that I just posted here, Chris Katz, and he said, I'm putting all my White Sox stuff in a box in a garage for a long time. And you know what? I feel him. I understand. I understand his pain. Because the White Sox got a lot of cool stuff. The color scheme, badass. If you haven't seen the special on NBC Sports Chicago about how they influenced the hip hop culture, go check it out. Back in the 90s, when they made the switch over, man, all the rappers, especially the West Coast rappers, but a lot of rappers on the East Coast, rappers were wearing that White Sox hat. The best thing that could have happened to the Sox until the 05 World Series. But I digress. Check it out on NBC Sports Chicago. But enough of this nonsense. Let's keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic. The Bears. Listen, happy. Where are we at? So the Bears have made their moves. They have trimmed their roster to 53. And there was a couple of moves, and people were saying, oh, my God. See, Tyson Bagent made the 53-man roster, and so people were ecstatic. Like, oh, wow, this guy. And his story's great. If you don't know his story, want to hear about it? Want to hear it? Here you go. His story's great. He came from first of all, his dad's an arm wrestling champion. Okay. And he went to Division II Shepherd. A lot of schools just missed on him. They passed on him. Goes and breaks all kinds of Shepherd records, breaks all kinds of Division II records, breaks the all college level record for touchdown passes in a career with 159. What? In 4 years? Say 160. That's 40 touchdowns a year. Let me repeat that. That's about 40 touchdowns a year. He played 12 games, averages out to three plus. So he threw over 3 touchdowns every game he played. And so when you look at a guy who's at the lower level, is not a Power 5 or Division I athlete, your first question you look at is, you ask yourself as you're watching the film is, does he dominate? Does he dominate the lower level of competition? And he did. And then, you know what? Because of that, because of all those snaps that he took, because of all those drop back pass attempts that he has, he's seen every situation. He looks the part. He talks. He walks the talks. He walks the part. He talks the part. It didn't look like the moment was too big for him at all. Not at all. Okay. So everyone's like, oh, he's quarterback QB2. Well, they re-signed Nate Peterman. So Nate will probably be working with him during the week. Maybe just not active. Who knows? But then they also signed this guy, Trent Taylor. Big pickup for the Bears. They claimed him off of waivers. Okay, then they signed him. He's a punt returner, wide receiver. He's not one with blazing speed. However, he is one that's very, very reliable. And he can make plays on punt returns. Don't get me wrong. He's just not blazing fast. His whole thing is ball security. His whole thing is he catches the punts. He can track them. He catches them. And anything after that is gravy. Give me 5 yards, 10 yards. Cool. 20 yards. House call, even better. But they made a couple other moves as well. The first waiver claim that they made was Khalid Kareem. They got an up-close and personal look at him yesterday. A couple of weeks ago when they had the joint practices before the preseason game in Indianapolis. Coach Eberflus talked about him yesterday, saying we liked his motor. We liked how he practiced against us. Then they got Quindell Johnson, safety, right, from the LA Rams. You know, both of our safeties are a little banged up. I'm talking Eddie Jackson. I'm talking Jaquan Brisker. So they want to get a younger guy who's been in the league. I think this is the second year, maybe third for Quindell. But anyway, he was in the league last year. To come and kind of be a safety blanket. So if one goes down, you can play either role. Then they also went out and traded for Dan Feeney, Orland Park's own. Orland Park, stand up. Stand up, OP. You know, it's funny. Let me see where high school he went to. That's crazy. Let me see what high school he went to. He's in Orland Park, so it's either Shepherd or Carl Sandburg. He went to Carl Sandburg. Okay. Drafted by the Chargers in 2017. Third round of the NFL draft. So he's been with the Chargers, the Jets, the Dolphins, and now the Bears. But he's gonna give some backup to the offensive line. And that's a good thing. Well, listen, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, my man Casey Boguslaw. Love his hat. You'll see it when he comes on. We're talking a lot of the shit show going on at 35th and Shields. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Regarding our 40-man roster, the approach is that no one is untouchable. If we have an opportunity to multiply or upgrade our major league team from our roster or system, we will exhaust it. We will be looking to create more depth and balance to our roster for the near term and long. In the coming weeks, I plan to sit down with Pedro to assess our major league staff and meet with players to listen to their own ideas of where to improve the clubhouse. This feedback and all feedback is critical in developing a necessary long-term plan.
Oh, sorry. Wow. Can you do me a favor and read any more boringly than that, Chris Getz? Come on. That's courtesy of the White Sox. I don't know if it's courtesy or not. Tortured us by the White Sox. My first guest, as I mentioned, he's another passionate White Sox fan, just as myself. He's been on the show plenty of times. He's a good friend of the program. He's a baseball analyst, has his own podcast called the Concourse Podcast. Make sure you check it out at Concourse Pod on Twitter. You can find him on Twitter at Casey Boguslaw. Let's welcome back our man, Casey Boguslaw. Casey, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
Nothing courteous about it, Shawn.
Sorry, I dozed off a little when he was talking. I was like, oh, sorry. Oh. Same. Hey, meet our new GM, same as the old.
Yep.
Give me your thoughts. When you heard it was higher, but I mean, there was rumors, so we knew this didn't hit us out of the. It come from left field, hit us, out of the blue.
Right.
But then the talk, his presser, it seemed like a lecture. Talk to me about your thoughts of the hire and the intro presser yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I wasn't surprised this time. I learned that lesson from the La Russa saga. When Bob Nightingale came out and said that Tony La Russa was a candidate, I laughed that off like everyone else did.
He was on my show when he said it. He was on my show.
And then there was, a very good possibility that was Chris Getz. I said, I'm going to believe it this time. One, because I don't want to be blindsided when it happens. But, yeah, and then here it goes. It's, like you said, the same old thing. A team that it is desperately in need for a culture change. And I shouldn't even use that word because they use it way too much. But a team that is in desperate need for outsider input. It's been so, insular for almost my whole life, nearing 30 years that Jerry's been here, Kenny and Rick were here. And then they just, hire just the next guy up. And the other thing about the presser, I'm going to go in front, before even Getz got to the podium, when Jerry was at the podium, I could not get over the line, Shawn, that he said, if he were to hire someone from the outside, it would take over a year for that person to get accustomed with the roster, and that would be a waste of a year. That makes no sense in any sense of of anything, specifically baseball, but any business at all. You don't think that, let's take Mike Rizzo, for example, who was one of the rumors coming over here from Washington. You don't think Mike Rizzo knows the entire White Sox roster? Of course he does. It's his job. Any GM needs to know every single player in MLB and MILB.
It's not like we don't have any of his former players either.
Right. It's yeah. We have people he drafted, I think. So that one really caught me just in disgust and in dismay of everything that that it even preceded. And then once Getz got up there, I was already defeated. The clip you played, he just slipped it under the table. That Pedro was going to be there without even without directly mentioning it. But just saying he has to talk to Pedro. And why is Pedro staying here? What this team is 55 and 80 or whatever they are. Why does this manager deserve another chance? And it's so funny that they were talking out of both sides of their mouth, both Jerry and Chris, in the entire presser, like how things need to change, but things need to stay the same, and continuity is important, but they want to make everything different. And Jerry is as disgusted as he's ever been, but nothing's going to change. And he's not going to spend any money on Ohtani, but he's going to spend money in free agency. It's like everything was opposite. One side of the mouth, the other side of the mouth. So what's going to happen? We all know what's going to happen at White Sox fans. Nothing. Nothing will change. Nothing will be different. There's going to be, maybe they get lucky with, whatever crap heap free agents that they grab this offseason, but probably not. And we're still going to see the same issues of injuries and leadership and all of that stuff that we have been seeing for the last couple of years. I don't think anything's going to change. There's no reason for any of us to think anything's change other than hope. But if you guys have hope, feed some over to me, because I am clear out of it.
It sounds like it, and so am I. You tricked us when you fired Kenny and Rick. We fell for the banana in the tailpipe. It's exactly what we did. Exactly what we fell for. We're thinking there's going to be change. We're thinking there's going to be something, and he's like, ha ha. He's just like Milhouse, ha ha.
And your hope was, looking at his other team, the Bulls. They finally did it. Now, clearly that might be his son has a different opinion than him, but they finally brought somebody from the outside. Yeah, they've run into some bad luck, but that was the hope I was clinging to when Kenny and Rick were announced. It was kind of like, okay, they're going to just go the Bulls path and finally grab somebody from the outside just to get a different look. I would have taken almost anyone. I outside of anybody affiliated with the Kansas City Royals, but anyone there are so many teams that are worlds smarter than the White Sox and the Royals. Go grab somebody from the Rays. Go grab somebody from the Giants, Dodgers, Braves, Brewers, Phillies. There are teams that have been successful for years, almost decades, that the White Sox are so far behind, and this is only going to keep them so far behind. What has Chris Getz done that any of us should be happy about? This farm system has been one of the worst his entire tenure. Yep. They haven't developed any player, even the players that they did bring in those trades that Rick made. Have any of those players gotten better as the White Sox? I guess Giolito, he was the worst pitcher in baseball, and then he was, very, very good, and then he kind of was mediocre again. But other than that,
Tim Anderson is the only dude that I could think of off the top of my head that they drafted and developed.
Right.
And is an all-star.
Like Joe Creedy. Yeah. In the last 20 years, it's Joe Creedy and then Tim Anderson, and that's really about it. And Tim Anderson was a first-round draft pick. So, that you have to assume that player is going to be good. Yes, they developed him into a player that, was pretty raw into, a very good all-star. But there's no success stories. You look at the Dodgers with even, bringing in a Max Muncy, all these guys that the Braves have brought in via trade and via their drafts. Those are the model franchises, and the White Sox are the complete opposite.
Guys, I'm talking to Casey Boguslaw, host of the Concourse podcast, talking White Sox baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. There's so many just different organizations to look at. And a couple of things bothered me, Casey. One, that he didn't. Oh, did I do that? Yeah, one that he didn't wait to the end of the season. That bugged me. Okay. 2, he bypassed all of the rules for minority interviews and opportunities. Okay. And 3, he just kept the same old, same old. You know what 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 can we expect for change? That's nothing. So what the White Sox fans? What can we? What do we go to the games? Are we just not looking for? I mean, are we not following baseball in 2024? Where is our stance? What do we do? All right, because we can't. I mean, we can not go to the games, but the Sox still made $275 million last year. So what if they? So what are they going to make? $260 million this year? Oh no! Now he's got to go in the WIC line. He's going to be devastated. I mean, what recourse do you have, or can you stand because for the same old stuff this year, in this upcoming season? Oh, this season isn't even over yet, and we're looking forward to the next season. Like it's going to be another shit show.
There's not much we can do, really. Like I said, it's just based on hope.
Casey, hold on. I can't hear you.
You got me?
Oh, there you go. Okay, you got your back.
I was gonna say, there's not much fans can do. I even thought, with the firings of Rick and Kenny, that finally there was something that got through to Jerry. For him to let these guys go that were, he said clearly, family. They were sons of, they were like sons to him. He came out of the presser yesterday saying this is the worst season of his tenure as the White Sox. So if that doesn't motivate the change, then there's nothing else that will. It's impossible. The attendance is up all across the league except the White Sox and maybe a couple other teams here, but the White Sox are by far the lowest. I mean, the rule changes worked. MLB is doing great. There are awesome stories all around. Playoffs are going to be exceptional this year, I think.
Ronald Acuna is a 30-60 guy. Jesus Christ.
30-60. Insane. Yeah.
This season's not even over yet.
I know. There's a whole month left. What is he going to get? Yeah.
He's going to be 40-60?
Yeah. Right. So, there are cool stories going around, and the White Sox are the team that is not drawing attendance, and we all know why, but obviously that clearly doesn't mean anything to Jerry. We all have to make our own decisions. Myself, I am thinking about taking a back seat here, and I am such a baseball fan that I will be fine. I'm an MLB TV subscriber. I watch them all. I watch all the games. I'm cool with watching whatever, and like I said, I'm super excited for the playoffs. I have been watching the team on the north side just more because, that's the easiest thing. That you turn on your TV, they're on, and they're exciting. Obviously, they're in a playoff hunt. That's exciting to watch. I'm never going to change my colors, but
me either.
I think just as a fan, I can take a backseat with the White Sox though. And I think I will. I do need to see change. I did that myself. Yeah, I got so sick of Robin during the Robin tenure. I just thought he was a bad manager, and I didn't like the way the team was going. That I did kind of backseat. This is back when I had an MLB site. I was a writer for all 30 teams, and it was easier for me. I don't do that as much now, just because I don't have time with children and everything like that. But I still am capable of taking a backseat and watching the rest of the team because baseball's awesome. Baseball's great. There's cool stuff on every day. Like I mentioned, the rule changes are awesome. It just sucks that I can't currently, be as enthused with the team that I was raised to be a fan of.
When he said that, when he said that Good Fall's coming back, your thoughts? How did your stomach turn just as much as mine?
Well, I wasn't surprised.
No, not surprised at all. But
yeah. So I'm just saying I wasn't blindsided. So it wasn't like the stomach turning. Like I think it was just kind of like, oh, okay, of course.
More sock stuff, typical.
Yeah, and even with Jerry and the money angle, they came out and said he's got 2 years left on his contract because he's gonna be paying another coach. I'm assuming he's not paying Ricky anymore. Who knows what's going on with Tony, but he probably doesn't want to pay two managers next year. And then where were they even going to go? It's just it's insane to me that all of let's take on the field to the side for a second. Just the off the field stuff, the Keenan Middleton stuff, Lance Lynn, all the stuff that's been said about what's going on with this organization. How do you keep your job? You're in charge of that stuff. You're in charge of all these guys. You're in charge of relievers falling asleep in the bullpen. You're in charge of relievers not doing pitching defensive practices, and then we can go into the infield stuff, on the field stuff. I mean, I didn't like his bullpen management. I didn't like his lineups. On and on and on. He did not prove to me in any shape or form that he was a manager. And hiring a first-year manager on a team that was supposed to be in the prime of their window was a mistake in the first place.
Bingo.
You just can't do that. You do that with a rebuilding team, and then you eventually grow out of it. You don't go backwards. And, this certainly does, looking back at it now that, of course, this seems like a Getz hire as much as it did seem like it was a Rick hire at the first place. But, Getz was a co-worker of Pedro Grifol in Kansas City, and now they are,
reunited, and it feels so good. It's I have to laugh because otherwise I'd cry. I would cry. Jerry talked about he wants to turn it around quickly because he says he's only got about 10 years left, so he doesn't have time for a long rebuild. And what do you think they do? Because obviously they're keeping their core, but what about their core? To me, it's culture. To me, it's accountability. To me, it's fundamental baseball. All these things I'm not seeing. So you keep this guy, you keep Pedro Grifol. What's he going to do? Be a hard ass now in 2024 when he already showed his true colors? Where does this team go? What about Yohan? Yohan's playing pretty good now, okay? But Jesus Christ, now you're playing mediocre. You've risen to a mediocre player right about now when you're supposed to be a stud, all right? Eloy, dude, stop getting hurt. Yeah. Like, where do we go? What change do you think he can make to this organization as far as the health front? Because you're gonna have to look at get another strength and conditioning coach, because I am sick and tired of all these soft tissue injuries. And I know there's a lot across the board, but it seems like we're the ones who are feeling the biggest brunt of this, unlike any other team.
And it seems organizational wide, which again, Chris Getz was in charge of the minor league system, so
yes, he was.
This is something that he has been a part of, and he should be as accountable as everyone else. I will tell you, if Vegas hasn't put it on the board yet, it's probably minus 5,000 that Salvador Perez will be on the Chicago White Sox next year. That seems so easy and so clearly a White Sox move that's going to happen. So there's your leader. I mean, maybe I'm not even like poo-pooing on it really, like that it's a terrible idea, because clearly they do need clubhouse influence. Now, if you're hiring a teacher's pet because, Pedro and Salvia are close, is that going to have an impact on Yohan and Eloy and Tim? I don't know. But that probably will happen. But he's got to spend. They cleared a lot of salary off at the trade deadline. So are you going to go back up to the level that you were at? Are you going to go even higher? There's no way that he's going to touch the luxury tax amount. He already came out and said, we are not going to be bidders for Ohtani, which not only is illegal, by the way, it's against MLB's rules. You are not allowed to say, I am not going to sign X player. He should be fined for that by Major League Baseball for saying that. But as fans,
he's 87. He don't give a damn, bro. He's 87. Yeah. He don't give a shit about it.
They're clearly making rules for him anyway. You mentioned they bypassed that he didn't have to interview any minorities because of his history. What the hell is that?
You got Harold Baines into the Hall of Fame. Like, dude, this guy's got a lot of power. And I love it. Harold Baines is my favorite White Sox player. And don't get me wrong, I just don't think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And he got him in.
Yeah. He does. It's crazy. And he didn't even want Manfred. He was against Rob Manfred being hired. He was one of the loudest voices, but they're still doing him favors up there at MLB offices. So where else are they going to spend? The free agency class is not great. There's some pitchers. They obviously need a bunch of pitchers. So what are they going to do? And you could bring in a Matt Chapman, like one of the top free agents on the market that'll be in the offseason. Now, if that were to happen, though, does Yohan move to second and Chapman can play third? That is something that I would certainly look into. And Yohan has now said it in an interview that he would be willing to do that. That would make some sense. So probably because it makes sense means that there's no chance that's going to happen. They can fix around the edges. You can make the team deeper. And then hopefully talent prevails. You have Luis Robert at the center of this lineup. Sosa has been looking better. I guess like there's little things that you can pin hope on, but it's really hard, and you gotta have a lot of hope and kind of just cross your fingers at a lot of these things. But you mentioned health is probably the biggest thing. I don't know what they could do to fix it. You got to have better off-season programs and a different mentality with these players. I still remember, Eloy came into this camp to camp this season saying like, he trained way differently than he ever has, and everything was different. And nothing was different. So is it the guy? He's lying? I don't know. But
that's my area, bro. I'd love to work with athletes, and I would love to see what they do. I would die to see what they do, and I would die to have them. Because trust me, we wouldn't have any of these soft tissue bullshits. Like we get, dude. Of all my years coaching football and track, I had one guy who had a hamstring that wasn't pulled, it just twinged. I'm like, all right, we'll leave you out. He says, no, I didn't pull it, coach, but I can feel like you might want to go. All my years of coaching, dude, I know exactly what to do.
You probably know better than I do, but it looks like Eloy just goes for strength and doesn't care about the stamina,
flexibility, stamina, all these things, explosion, all these things. There's just so many different things you can do. Just to strengthen that hamstring, to lengthen and strengthen the hamstrings, in what they're doing. I have no idea, but it's whatever they're doing is not working, and it's frustrating. So, Casey, what do you do with Tim Anderson?
So yeah, I've kind of been saying on Twitter and on my podcast that I think it's time to go. Now, but with the recent news yesterday, with nothing changing, why should I think that anything will change? I was just thinking, like, with everything that happened with Tim this season, off the field, on the field, the fight,
down goes Anderson.
his very lengthy slump, more injuries. I just thought it was time. It will be time to part ways this offseason. Shortstop market is bare. So there is that problem, but who's the White Sox best prospect in the system? It is Colson Montgomery. He was probably going to take over at some point. I would think in 2024, regardless.
Start it now,
or have Sosa's. I mentioned Sosa before. Sosa's looking pretty darn good right now with some actual at bats. Maybe you can start him there. And no, but I would part ways to like kind of just start a new era of White Sox baseball, but it's hard to say that with what happened yesterday, and that's why I had those thoughts a month ago with everything that was going on. I was like, okay, Tim's gone in the offseason, but now because they're so static and everything stays the same, why would I think I was begging for trades last offseason? I thought that was the biggest miss of last offseason, where like you had to get rid of some of these first base DH bodies. You needed some more depth in starting pitching, and they just didn't do any of it. So they ran it back, and they just said, we'll just try to be healthy this year, and none of that worked. They've just showed us time and time again that they right now are one of the worst organizations in all sports, and we haven't gotten into the gun thing, which you were at the game. I texted you immediately to see what was
appreciate
going
you looking
on.
out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, check up on you. But the fact that was Jerry's first comment at the press conference.
Very first, like,
no, everything the cops are saying is wrong. I have my own cops that tell me that it was a magic bullet.
Yeah. You mean this thing?
I spoke to Superintendent Waller from the police department last night, and he authorized me to tell everybody that regardless of what has been said in the past by anybody, the police have not ruled out the possibility or the probability that the gunshots the other night came from outside the ballpark. I don't want to comment on the specific details because the police are still investigating. They haven't come to a final conclusion. But we have done a lot of investigation. We have gathered a lot of facts. And without going into the detail, because I don't want to influence the police decision, but the fact is, based upon the information available to us, I see virtually no possibility that the gunshots came from within the ballpark. It's totally safe to be in this ballpark. I don't think a gun has ever been, has gotten past our security. And I think ultimately that will come out. And I'm hopeful that the police department will complete their investigation as soon as possible.
They're coming for his money, so he's on the defense.
Dude, crazy. Well, we've come to the conclusion.
Yeah. But I don't. It's terrible. You take away my co-host on our most recent podcast episode. We were going through it, and I mean, I think we all know this as White Sox fans, but when you say it this way, it just becomes so clear. If you take away the 2005 season, the last time the White Sox won a playoff series was 1917. 106 years ago. I mean, 05 was great. It was wonderful, magical ride. Never, ever will take it away from myself. But you take away that one magical season, they haven't won a playoff series since 1917.
Wow. Dude, this is sad. All I can say is, and you feel it like I feel it, bear down.
Yeah, buddy. We are we're 9 days away from the lakefront, man.
Yes. Oh, and so you know what? Actually, I have breaking news that since we're talking about it, I was going to save it for 10 o'clock, but so I will be credentialed. I will be in it's all the home games this year in the press box.
That's
covering.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats,
So
man.
I'm excited. Thank you. I'm really excited.
Well, I will be there, sir. So let's
I'll wave to you.
Yeah. Let's shake hands for sure.
Yeah, because it's been a couple years when we ran into each other. We met at Sox Park, and
yes, sir.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to be there. So I'll be there all the starting September 10th. All home games, and if I want, I'll have to do it on my own, but that's still not an issue. I was thinking about going to New Orleans, and maybe one other location. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. There's a couple of things that I still need to, I hope, get ironed out that I didn't see as far as the Bears offense. But I think this is going to be a really, really big year for this offense. Justin Fields, DJ Moore. Those are two of the captains that were just named yesterday. If for those people who didn't know, Tremaine Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. Yeah, Edmonds and Eddie Jackson were the other two defensive captains. So it's here, man. It's 9 days away. It couldn't come fast enough. I know.
That's what we need. Yeah.
Yeah. Sox fans, we need it. Cub fans, they still have some time. All right. They're in some meaningful baseball. And you know what? I'm almost happy for them. I really am. Almost happy for them. It's got to be fun going into this part of the season, playing meaningful baseball. The series they just had with the Brew Crew was just playoff intensity. And now they finish up, not now, but they finish up in Brewtown for the last three. So if they stay close, that could be the deciding series for who takes the division. So Cub fans, enjoy it. You enjoy it over there, and we're going to be rooting on the Bears. From now on.
Yep.
Hey, Casey, great stuff, Papa. I really appreciate it. But do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online, your podcast, all that good stuff.
Yeah, at Casey Boguslaw on Twitter. And at Concourse Pod for the Outfield Concourse podcast. Probably doing an episode tonight on the recap of all of this stuff that's gone on. And so if you want to suffer with us, please give us a download and subscribe.
Hey, great stuff, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Thanks.
All righty. Guys, that was Casey Boguslaw from the Concourse Podcast talking baseball with us. And that sideshow of a press conference yesterday at Guarantee Rate Field, it was just amazing. Amazing is really all I could say. It's freaking amazing. Just when you think this organization has sunk to its lowest, they say, hold my beer. And they go and they get lower. Well, you know what? Let's get some good talk in. I'm fired up. With my sweetness, my birthday gift that my cousin gave me a couple of weeks ago. I've been wearing around the house and I like it. I'm like, I want to wear this. It's comfy. It's comfy. Let's get in some good conversation. All right, we got some Bears talk right here. So do me a huge favor. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Jones will walk at the left tackle. Time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate to get the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. Oh, he got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too. These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Throws the slant. Good job getting in front by Michael Ojemudia. Single back. They give it to Webster on the end around. He's done this a couple of times in preseason, and he's done that a bunch. Get ahead of steam here. Martin's a good punter.
Nice
It's
block.
blocked. Smith. That's a rookie in Terrell Smith getting into the backfield.
will Bourne be ready to step in and play the right tackle spot? And I would think also for Tevin Jenkins. Nice throw and catch.
Carlson holds on again. Walker on.
Patrick at centers, but so it's going to be about Nate Davis. Nice throw.
Robert Burns walks in for the touchdown. P.J. Walker gets him in there. Give it to Burns. Oh, a little somersault home for the two-pointer. Not a 3-point game here at the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those are the Bears. I'm excited. There's a lot. Big news, and we talked about it last segment with Casey Boguslaw. The Bears have announced their captain, my captains. All right, their captains for 2023 include Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, DJ Moore, wide receiver. Those two guys just came over this year. One via free agency, one via trade. Eddie Jackson, you see in the back with number 4, saying everyone to shh. And Justin Fields, superstar in the making. I think these are good choices. Bojack, definitely. I don't know a lot about Tremaine Edmonds. Okay, I don't. But I think Justin's a phenomenal choice for captain. I think Eddie Jackson is a phenomenal choice for captain. DJ Moore apparently has made quite an impression with his teammates. Okay, in order for him to be voted a captain. So I like it. I like it, period. Point blank, end of story. I like it. I like the whole vibe with Coach Eberflus and GM Poles are doing. I'm really, really excited. All right. And I just told people this year I'm excited. I wanted to do that. This year I will be credentialed. Okay. I'll be at, as I said, all the home games. I'm waiting to see if I can get a photographer with me. We'll have to wait and see. If I can get a photographer, dude, that'd be dope. But if not, that's fine too. That'd be doper. Let me just put it that way. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get down there and cover this team. I'm excited to be in the building, be in a warm press box as the season progresses. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the networking. I'm excited for the networking to meet some of the other beat writers. It'll be pretty cool. Have some of them on here. If they want me on their shows, fine, but have some of them on here to enhance the quality of Sports Zone Chicago. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. With that being said, we talked about what the Bears did. All right, the Bears made some moves. All right, and they claimed him off waivers and they signed him. This is Trent Taylor. He's a punt returner and wide receiver. So this was huge. Okay, this was very huge because we were still concerned about the punt returner due to Velus Jones having issues. Okay, Velus Jones was having issues last year and then again this year. Mr. Shorty, give me some free Subway sandwiches in the press box. Jason, eat as much food as humanly possible or humanely possible. I will. Oh, okay. You remember a tray of Subway sandwiches in the press box when I worked for the Bears in the 90s. Okay. Yeah, we were down when we went to Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship game a few years ago, and their press box was dope. their press box was super dope. So welcome, Mr. Shorty. Mr. Shorty, what's up, Papa? My man Brandon Livingston in the Mickey Ficky house. You back from Hawaii, baby? What's up? I don't know if you just came in. I don't know if you heard the news. I will be credentialed this year, so I will be at Soldier Field for all home games. I'll be in the press box, and I'm fired up about it. I'm freak up. So we have a lot planned. We have a lot planned as far as possibly most likely another show, a pregame, a postgame. You'll see me asking questions in the locker room. So there is a photographer there that's going to be with me, but I'm trying to get another one, my own, because I want my guy to get on the field and take action shots and cool shots. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I'm fired up. It's going to be awesome. And Brandon, they damn sure better keep the vodka and club soda stacked. They better. They're gonna have to deal with the SuperBack. I'm telling you. But I'm excited. So they brought back Nate Peterman, which I'm cool with. I am good with. You know what? I was a little leery with Tyson Bagent. Now, next year, if Tyson Bagent plays well this year, and next year he's a QB2, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. You know? Oh, dude, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be asking some good questions. That's for sure. Players and coaches. I'll see my two guys will be working there all the time. They work for one of the security. My buddy Paul has a security firm, and they're contracted with the Bears. So, Shorty, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. But yeah, we asking tough questions, man. Coaches and players. All right, I'm not gonna. So I heard this guy yesterday asking a question, or it was a couple days ago. I don't know who it was. I don't know that voice, but I'll be able to put the voice to a face. He asked and answered his question in the question. He asked the question. I'm paraphrasing, of course. He asked Ryan Poles, he says, what does that say to the locker room? This is right after he cut PJ Walker. He said, what does that say to the locker room when you cut PJ Walker, who had $2 million, guaranteed $2 million? So PJ Walker's getting $2 million regardless. But what does that say to the locker room that you cut PJ Walker, that showing that performance matters, not just a contract? What does that show to the locker room? I'm like, you just a question that shows that performance over a paycheck. That's the issue. That's your answer that you just answered and wanted him to answer again. Everyone's so scared. So I'm going to ask some tough questions. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting questions from you guys. So I'll say, hey, what questions would you want me to ask? And I'll see, depending on how the game goes and what happens, I'll try and get a question in or two, but I definitely going to keep, I want to keep them on their toes, keep them honest. I'm going to ask some tough questions, do some stuff from some reporting on the field. If they have to see if that's one of the things that they allow us to do, maybe do a post-game update or post-game wrap up. So yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it does say they believe in Bagent, and I believe in him too. I had no idea who he was. I had no idea his credentials. I have no idea, pun intended. I have no idea his records. I had no idea about his prolific college career. None. And then as we started doing research on it more and more and more, I was like, holy cow, this dude. And then the first preseason game where he walked out there and you knew the stage was, the moment was not too big for him. He looked calm, cool, and collected. Hit throws. Made some mistakes. He's a rookie. I'm not saying he's going to walk on water. What I'm saying is that he looks ready for this opportunity. He looks ready. And you can't, and that's all you want. When you draft players, you sign them. He's a UDFA. When you sign them, you want them to be ready. You want them to not have the moment be so big, or be too big for them, and it wasn't. All right, they coached him in the Senior Bowl, so they got an up close and personal look at him. Then, if you watch the tape, man, there's one play he hit the guy running like a slant. Doesn't even move his feet, just flicks his hip, just turns his hip with pinpoint accuracy, and it was a completion. I can't remember who it was. But I was watching the All-22. Someone had it on Twitter, that particular play. And I was like, whoa, this is, just quick release. But I didn't know if he was going to be, and Bear fans are like, oh, he's going to be number 2. And some idiots are like, if Justin doesn't play well, he'll be QB1. I'm like, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Stop your nonsense. As much as I like Bagent, I don't believe he's ready for the NFL yet. He may be ready for the NFL mid to late season. Okay, but I'll tell you what. I do like him as a third stringer. I like Nate Peterman here as a backup. And I think as the season progresses, if Bagent continues to progress, because there's no pressure on him. They're not pressuring him to get on the field. You're not the savior of this franchise. You can grow and develop at your pace. You can grow and develop. If it takes all year for you to get more acclimated or comfortable with the NFL game, fine. The Bears are more than happy to wait for you. Which means it'll probably be sooner than a year because there's no pressure for Tyson Bagent. None whatsoever. So I'm thankful for that for him. I'm glad that he's got that. He doesn't have to carry that weight. Like, oh, I have to perform. They need me to win. It's not the case. So you would rather see Bagent than Peterman. Okay. I don't think it's going to take long for Tyson Bagent to get acclimated. The reason I say that is because he's thrown over 17,000 yards in college, 159 touchdowns to 48 picks, 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, which means he threw an interception every game because he threw three touchdowns in every game. That's crazy. Insane. So he's got, I'm trying to think of he's got, there we go. No, oh, you're killing me, Smalls. Let's look at the wrong one. But what do you have? 2,000 passes? Gee, wow. 2,000 over 2,000 passes. You're like, come on, dude. What the? They did not ever run the ball. You know, you like, did you ever run the ball in college? Here we go. Here's what I need. He attempted 1,468 passes in college. Let me read that again. 1,468 pass attempts in college. Divide that by 4. 388 pass attempts a year. Almost 400 pass attempts a year. I like his demeanor. I like his moxie. And you have to like the amount of experience this guy has. He attempted 1,468, completed 1,000 of them. and 159 touchdowns. This is just awesome. So I love it. I really like the fact that we got a young kid. This is cool. How cool is it now? Because we have a youngster that we can develop. We have a youngster that even next, maybe till the end of this year, but next year moving forward, this guy could be ready at the drop of a dime and still, because the kid's extremely athletic, and you still don't have to change the game plan. You still don't have to change the game plan. Something us Bear fans aren't used to. Not used to it. Like we have. So we had that a couple times. Cal Orton, Rex Grossman, Jim McMahon, Mike Tomczak. Did they ship Kyle off right after we got Cutler? I don't remember. But man, it's not like other teams. And you know what? Let me not compare us to other teams. That's not normal in this organization to be that well prepared. You have the quarterback and your backup, both guys that can win you games. Remember when that's right, they did, or he went over to Denver. You know, when you had backups remember Jim McMahon and Mike Tomczak. Jim McMahon was out for a couple of games. Remember that? And Mike Tomczak played well. Remember the Thursday night game? Tomczak started and Jim McMahon came in first play after a huge blitz pickup by Walter. He hits Willie Gault for a touchdown. The Bears going to win that Thursday night game and sparked the infamous Colts. The Bears are who we thought they were by Dennis Green. So, yeah, this is a very, very good position that the Bears are in. You know, and I want to see, I mean, we're not going to see him, but I want to see as much of Tyson Bagent as possible. If the Bears are up or down 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, I'm putting Bagent in. I'm putting Bagent in if they're up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Get him some actual live reps. Up or down. If you're down 3 quarters or 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, throw him in there. If you got 2 or 3 minutes to go. If it's 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, yeah, try and get a touchdown. See if you can nail the gap or have a miracle. But once it's times of the essence and you know you can't make it just because of the time, let him get a drive here, drive and a half there. Get him some experience. And watching this kid develop is going to be fun for me. It's going to be real fun. What happens, and I thought about this, what happens if you get a Trent Green effect? And I'm not wishing it, but I'm thinking this. Trent Green started 1999 as the Rams big free agent quarterback. Preseason game goes down with a torn ACL. This grocery bag handler from northern Iowa comes in, saves the day, gets him to the playoffs, gets him to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, and now he's the hero. He's an icon. What if something like that happened here? Okay. Again, I wouldn't want it past before week 5, 6, but you can never really tell when an injury is going to happen. And Tyson's able to come in and win a couple games. Did you ever stop and think of that? Because remember, him and Justin Fields' skill set are similar. He just isn't as fast. All right, he just isn't as fast. He's quick enough. He's quick enough to get through through the pocket, get around the edge. He's quick enough, fast enough, but he's nowhere near the athlete with the speed of a Justin Fields. And it's okay because not many people have that type of speed. But those two guys, how well does he pick up the offense? How well can he grasp it? How well can he see coverages? I don't think he should have a problem seeing coverages. I don't think he should have a problem understanding where the soft spots are in these zones. I don't think he should. You drop back over 1,000 times, 1,200 times. How many times have you seen a cover 2? How many times have you seen a cover 3? How many times have you seen man? How many times have you seen man free? How many times have you seen a nickel? How many times have you seen this? Tons of time. So I don't think it's going to take him a whole year to get this playbook. I think by week 7 or 8, I think you have something here. But this kid's got a couple things that you can't teach. You can't teach that speed at the quarterback position and moxie. His offensive line is an area. Well, let me talk with Justin. There's one thing with Justin. I want him to get comfortable throwing from the pocket. And it's very similar. It means like one spit and twice shy. One sack, twice shy. I want to see him stand tall in the pocket. There was one play that he had. Who did he have down the side? Darnell Mooney? No, it was I can't remember who it was. Anyways, cover 2, he gets behind the opposite safety. There's a little pressure to his right, so he backs up and goes to where that pressure came from. The receiver was open and closed. He stayed there and dropped it in the bucket because he was already past one safety, behind one safety, and the other one was chasing him. It's a big gain, if not a touchdown. Those are the plays we can't leave on the field. Those are the plays that have to be made when they present themselves. Those are the plays. Because it's really only 4 or 5 big plays a game. It's really pretty much all it is. So, I want to see him sit back in the pocket. I want to see him get comfortable. I want to see him get so comfortable that he thinks he's back at Ohio State, where he has stud receivers. He has stud O-line. You just talked with Shawn Salisbury. Good. Do I still have his number? Yeah, he used to come on Sports Zone Chicago. That was dope. See, the one thing. Shit. Deleted it. Son of a biscuit. Yeah, we used to have Shawn Salisbury come on our show. It was awesome. Awesome. He's a great get. He's a great guest. Man, he's a real dude. It was down in Houston. Yeah. Oh, snap. Justin Roberson is back. Good morning, Papa. Thanks for tuning in. Woo! Look at this guy. Look at this guy over here. Welcome back, baby. But the thing with Justin Fields, I want to see him stand there. Drop the bucket, drop the ball drop it in the bucket over the outside shoulder. Oh, I was unhappy that he missed that particular throw. Okay, I was unhappy, but listen, I'm not going to beat him up over it. I'm not going to say, "Oh, he sucks." Brady would never miss. No, Brady's missed plenty. Peyton Manning's missed plenty. Drew Brees has missed plenty. But let's not start making it a habit. Let's not do that. But listen, let's take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to finish up. It's the final break of the show, final break of the week. Woo, Charlie, I'm excited for Labor Day weekend. I want to keep saying Memorial Day. Labor Day weekend. It's going to be fun. I want to hear what you guys are doing. What are you doing over there? I want to hear what you guys are doing for Labor Day weekend. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. Big one-way Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Regarding our 40-man roster, the approach is that no one is untouchable. If we have an opportunity to multiply, I am not naive to the expectation that things need to change. To that I will say, the fans deserve different, I am different, we will be different. From this day forward, our organization will do whatever is necessary to be better in 2024 and beyond. It starts with a strong foundation. We will assess international, amateur, and pro scouting. We will look at player development, sports science, and medical departments, all while continuing to integrate analytics into every process that we have. With my understanding of the ins and outs of this organization, I plan to empower the talent that already exists, quickly fill the gaps with outside hires, and bring innovation, creativity, and energy in our pursuit of excellence.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. That is the White Sox new Senior Vice President and General Manager, Chris Getz. Same guy, doesn't really matter. Same guy, different name. And it sounds, let me tell you something, it sounds good what he said. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. But how many of you are confident that it's really going to happen? I'm not. And what evidence do we have to trust this? Because to me, it's none. I haven't seen any evidence. But I digress. You know, we're talking about a good thing, and there's no need to talk about that cesspool again. We're talking Bears. All right, I'm concerned with Justin a little bit. I want to see him start hitting, or I would have liked to have seen him hit more throws, but I'm not going to bury him under it because he missed one throw. Okay, I would have liked to have seen it. That would have really solidified my confidence in him. Had he hit that particular throw, and you might have gotten punched in the mouth or hit in the mouth. Hey, that's why you get paid the big bucks as a quarterback. But that would have put all of my fears and questions to rest. And don't you worry. That will have been addressed in meetings. Guarantee you that's addressed in meetings. And if that situation arises again, hit it. Hit it. Connect, 6, touchdown. Start pumping up the band. Because if he does that, and if he continues to improve, and he's able to get to the point where he can sit back there and pick you apart, you are screwed. And it's not like, here's the thing. Here's why it's so different. It's not like a Tom Brady picking you apart. Okay? It's not. It's not like a Peyton Manning picking you apart. Okay? This is the new generational athlete. Because he can pick you apart. But then again, by the same token, if it needs to pull it down, he can take it to the house. Any time, any place on the field. This is that new age quarterback. This is what we're playing with now. And that's what makes this so exciting. Is that if you let him pick you apart, and then the one play that you have good coverage, he tucks it and runs. What do you do? Who do you go? Who do you talk to? Because I've seen defenses. Some of my defenses that I played with, I've coached. And at some point, there was just a stud player on the other side. Like, man, we got to do something. I got to bracket him. I got to spy him. I got to do something. Where they're just a head and shoulders above the rest. And that is where I think Justin can get to this year. Actually, I know that's where Justin can get to this year. Will he get to it? Well, that's where we're going to have to wait and see. That's what we're going to have to wait and see. The offensive line has me worried. I know they just signed Feeney. Or Feeney, not Freeney. Dan Feeney, Orland Park native, Carl Sandburg High, right there on 131st and LaGrange. Signed him as a guard. Because Tevin Jenkins is out. Minimum 4 games. Then I was listening to Brad Biggs yesterday, and he made a lot of sense. He said the 5th game of the season is a Thursday night game. He said it's a Thursday night game, and they usually don't practice on Monday or Tuesday on a Thursday night game. We just walk through. So will Tevin Jenkins be able to come back in week 5? Because it's a short week. So if he's not back week 5, that means he's going to be out 5 weeks instead of 4. Nate Davis, what's the situation with him? You know, they're talking about he just didn't want to play. He just was like, I don't like all these rules. Kind of like a little spoiled brat is what it sounded like. So is he going to be ready? A lot of people are pissy. They're like, no, he's not going to be. Yeah, look at this. Great job, B. Yep. Injuries on the offensive line. That sucks. That changes the complexity of this entire offense. I hope we do this. Yes. Junior, he is a big disappointment to this point. Big disappointment. Obviously, he went to work in Tennessee, where he's leading around Derrick Henry, King Henry. But he comes here and he's like, I don't know if I want to play today. Really, bro? Really? And even Darnell Wright's out with a boo-boo, although he was at practice yesterday. Like, damn, dude. And the center situation's all jacked up. It's like, what the fudge crackers? Just when we're ready to get excited, boom, this happens. Offensive line issues. Which, again, leads me to question, why did you cut Alex Leatherwood? Why did he get cut? Why did Terrell Lewis get cut? Was it a scheme fit like Travis Gibson, which is why you cut him and released him? Because that was your best pass rusher. His preseason was Terrell Lewis. But I digress. We don't need to talk about the cuts anymore. Now we can focus on game one. The Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers, I know Aaron Rodgers is gone from up north, but they still got a squad. Respect all, fear none. But they got a squad. They got a running game. They got a young quarterback who's most likely worked with their stud receivers, either in with the practice squad or running the second unit. So he may have a lot more chemistry than we think. He may have a lot more chemistry with his receivers than we think. That's the team that concerns me. They got two stud receivers and Christian Watson. Remember the guy I wanted last year? Or he's a rookie. So, no, he was last year. You got Christian Watson and you got Romeo Doubs from, I want to say, A&M. You got two stud receivers. You have stud running game. Passing game up in Green Bay. And then you have a stud defense up there. That's a recipe for success in any organization, but especially one that's going through a transition like this. A running game, stud defense. I know the NFL doesn't want to go back to 17, 14 games, but man, just take a win. So I'm definitely concerned about the team up north. Definitely concerned about the Vikings. Definitely concerned about the Lions. Definitely. Because those Lions are a team, I know I joke about them all the time, but man, they're getting better. Yeah, they're going to miss Jameson Williams and one other guy first 6 weeks for gambling on sports in the facility. Will they be able to pick up and start off strong even without those two, or how's that going to work? So the whole NFC North is still a concern for me. Every single team in Minnesota, they're picked to win the division. It's still a concern for me. I'm not scared. It's just a concern. Because I can see with this offense that the Bears have, I can see them putting up numbers on all these defenses. And at the same time, I can see them struggling. I could see them struggling. I could see doing both. And that's going to be an issue. That's where consistency comes in. That's where the hard work comes in. And the relentlessness that you have to succeed, to win. We'll see. We will see. Any questions, you guys? I'm looking over here in the chat. Shorty said, I must admit, as we get closer, I get more and more worried about Green Bay. I cannot handle another loss. Neither can I. But yeah, as it draws closer, this whole division seems like it's like the NFC, the Norris division back in the day. That's all the teams had hockey teams. Yeah, it's offensive line. That's huge. And if it is the case, are they going to, Brandon, focus on that quick game? Are they going to? Are they going to have to? Because you can't keep Justin Fields up all day long in the pocket. They're going to come and get some hits. You want to minimize the amount of hits that he gets. Slants, curls, hitches. Okay, take a home run shot every once in a while with slants, curls. All these things that need to be 15 and in. Justin's that's got to be automatic. And it can be, because we've seen other quarterbacks do it. We've seen Brady do it. We've seen Rodgers do it. We've seen Drew Brees do it. We've seen Justin Allen do it. We've seen great quarterbacks do this. Just kill you underneath. 5 yards, yak. 3 yards, yak. All this does is two things. One, it gets the offensive rhythm. Two, gets the defense tired. The short game. Because they're fighting, trying to get, and all of a sudden the ball's gone. You can't hit them. You got to do it next play. And you got to do it again the next play. Then you got to do it again the next play. The short game that everyone is talking about but that looked evident, didn't it? I mean, first play from DJ Moore is a screen. How much more run game like can you get? Screen, just extend it to the outside, get it to him. DJ did the rest. How excited are you about DJ? Let me put it in the comments. First of all, smash the like button. But secondly, put in the comments how much to see DJ Moore. Because on that play in the first preseason game, we caught it, avoided a tackle, took it to the house. How excited were you? Because I got fired up. I could not believe how well that looked. Brandon, yes. The first play of the game, of the first preseason game, blasting game, slips out to the flat, catches it, turns it up, 11 yards, first down Bears. We tend to look through Bear-colored lenses because we're Bears fans. But doing the best of my ability to be objective, I don't know if this team is going to connect, is going to flow, going to blend, going to gain that chemistry, whatever you want to call it. I think that's why they still are focusing on the defense. Got good guys, because all these guys, it's a lot easier for defense to get close, gain respect. It's not. So, can this defense carry the offense a little bit so the offense gets on their feet? Or is the offense going to come out fighting like gangbusters and they help the defense because now they're up 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and teams have to come back to win, so they got to pass, and that means defensive line, edge rushers, you get to pin your ears back and go get some. Go get some. One hand washes the other. That's why this is the way, or I should say, and that's why I like the way Ryan Poles did it his way. His way. You know, defensively, I am okay with the edge rushers. Yannick Ngakoue is coming around the corner. Now, can we collapse the pocket from the middle? The key thing, because if we can't, we're screwed. Because they're just going to push Yannick Ngakoue on his way out. He's going to go past the quarterback, and the quarterback will go right back where Yannick Ngakoue was. Buy him some time. The youngsters really got to step up. Javon Dexter, it's time. And I get it. I understand. It's a new year, new scheme. But man, dude, you've never been in attack mode at all in football, high school, grammar school. Let's just read and react. Come on. Zach Pickens, are you going to continue the feistiness that we've seen from you? Billings, are you going to be that run-stopping nose tackle that we need? That one tech's what we need. And then those linebackers flying around. Because you know the secondary, them jokers are flying around. So I'm not worried about the secondary. They're going to get burned every once in a while. It happens. It doesn't happen. There's no one who's ever not given up a touchdown pass, no team, the entire season in the NFL. So you're going to give up a touchdown pass. But the best part about it is they forget. As soon as it happens, it's over. Water under the bridge. Next play. And on some of yes, this is what Javon Dexter needs to do. Penetrate. Live 1 yard on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Just one. It's a hell of a day. Just one. That's all I'm asking you is 1 yard across the line of scrimmage. It's where you need to be. And you'll become a rich man. You'll become a very successful man if you can stay close. Zach Pickens, Dexter, Billings. I like them. I'm just not sure if they're ready yet. I hope they are. I mean, we still got Justin Jones, but I hope they are. But do we know? No, we don't. And I can't say for sure, like, oh, they're going to be great. You just never know. Linebackers are great. I'm liking linebackers. Good to have Tremaine Edmonds back as a captain playing. Who was it? Just Noah Sewell had a sore groin, so we got to work on him and get better. But those linebackers, this defense, I'm excited. And then everything. So then my thought is this. What about the coaches now? What about the coaches? How are they being held accountable? Because now, Luke Getsy, you got a different Justin Fields this year. You got a different Darnell Mooney this year. A more confident one, or more confident of those. Both those guys are confident. You got a second year with Cole Kmet in the system right after he just had a breakout year. So it's up to Getsy to put these guys in position to be successful. It's up to Getsy to schematically gain an advantage over a defense. It's up to Getsy to see the mismatch, slot his best receiver, DJ Moore, against that mismatch, and have fun. DC Williams, you can go get that quarterback now. You don't have to blitz. You can just run stunts. You can go an NT stunt, nose tackle, defensive tackle stunt, and those guys goes first. You can have a TE stunt, ET stunt. You might be able to get consistent pressure with only 4. If the Bears can get consistent pressure with only 4 guys rushing, game over. Green Bay lost. Green Bay will lose. I'll make that prediction. Yes. Get guys in twists, get guys in stunts, get guys moving. Cause their eyes to go here, here. Oh, snap, I need someone here. This is what I need. This is what I want. And DC Williams has the talent to do it Will he do it? That I don't know. That I'd love to say, oh, yeah, he's going to do it. I talked to him yesterday. You know? Well, listen, man, 2 hours is come and gone. Can you believe this? I want to thank my guest, Casey Boguslaw, for coming out talking White Sox baseball. As depressing as it is, I think I need to start drinking already. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, damn it. No, I'm not going to go drinking. I want to thank Casey Boguslaw from the Concourse Pod for coming out and talking White Sox baseball with us. I want to thank you guys for all the activity in the chat. You guys are jumping today, and I love it. Let's see who's watching. I don't remember how to get there. Anyway, those are great stuff today. Great stuff. I'm excited for the weekend. What are you guys doing for the weekend? It's a holiday weekend, the official end of summer, and then it's supposed to be 90s all week. High of 85 today and 90s all week. The little crumb snatchers go back to school. Any fun plans for you guys? You guys traveling? Are you entertaining? I don't know. I might go to Michigan this weekend. I might not. I'm not sure. So we'll see. It's going to be hot. If I don't, man, I'll be in the house. Actually, I'll be by the pool. I'll be by the pool. I don't know if I'm going to go to Orland because it's too crowded, too many kids, too much screaming. Maybe the one in Burr Ridge, maybe the one in Tinley Park. Who knows? Shorty, you have a great weekend, Papa. We'll see you back next week, next Wednesday. So, for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Steve Weekly, my producer, Clarence Council III, a social media guy, and Maya Kai, my co-host at Absentia. Okay, I want to thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you not Monday, on Wednesday. Same bad time, same bad channel, 9 a.m. to 11 Central Standard Time. Guys, it's going to be a phenomenal weekend. Barbecues, drinking, families, reunions, catching up with old friends. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. I've been telling you this all the time. You don't know if that's the last time you're going to see that person. And you don't want your last time to be in a casket. So don't know about find time for your loved ones, find time for your friends, find times for those that care about you. Do some cool stuff. Go downtown, go to Navy Pier, go to the park, go to a concert, go to a rooftop, go somewhere, go there, spend time with your friends. Time moves fast, man. It moves fast. And you don't want to say, damn, my boy's gone. And I meant to text him. I meant to do that. And you never get around to it. Well, folks, I'm excited for the weekend. I don't have anything planned yet. But I'll do something cool. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I love you and I appreciate. Yes, very good, Patty. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. All right. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I want you guys to have a wonderful weekend. Wonderful weekend. All right. And guess what? I am out. I almost forgot. 12:15. Excuse me. 12:15. Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown, Second City Sports. So they'll give you 2 more hours of sports. And then tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1, the Smoke Fellas are back. All right. Now, folks, your boy, the SuperBack. I am out.